Welcome back to Kuma English Listening Hub. Today, we will explore a colorful and peaceful place in many busy cities, the community garden. A community garden is a shared garden. Many people from the same neighborhood take care of it together. They grow flowers, vegetables, and herbs. In this episode, we will learn what a community garden is, how it works, who uses it, and why it is becoming more and more popular in cities around the world. As you listen, try to imagine the sounds, the colors, and the people in a community garden. Let's begin. Imagine a big city. There are tall buildings, busy roads, and many cars. Maybe there is a lot of noise and air pollution. People live in small apartments, sometimes without a balcony. It is hard to find green spaces. Now, imagine turning the corner and finding something different. Between two buildings, there is a small piece of land. Inside the fence, you see green plants, bright flowers, and maybe red tomatoes. You hear birds, and you smell fresh soil and herbs. This is a community garden. A community garden can be in many places. It can be in an empty lot, on the roof of a building, next to a school, or inside a park. The important thing is that the land is shared. It does not belong to only one person. It is for the community. So, how does a community garden work? In many cities, a group of neighbors has an idea. They want a green space. They talk to the city government or the owner of the land. They explain their plan. Sometimes they need permission. Sometimes they rent the land for a small price. After that, they start to build the garden. The group usually makes some rules. For example, people may need to sign up to get a small part of the garden called a plot. Each person or family can grow what they like in their own plot. They must also follow the garden rules. For example, they must not use strong chemicals, and they must help keep the garden clean. Some community gardens do not have individual plots. Instead, everyone works together and shares all the food. In this case, the group decides together what to plant and how to use the food. Who works in a community garden? You can see many different people there. You might see an older man who remembers how to grow vegetables from his childhood. You might see children from a local school learning how to plant seeds. You might see a young woman who wants to relax after work. You might see a family who wants to teach their children where food comes from. Sometimes people from different countries work side by side. One person plants something from their home country, like okra or special beans. Another person plants something different, like kale or lavender. In this way, the garden becomes a place to share cultures. Now, let's talk about what people do in a community garden. First, they prepare the soil. They clean the land, remove trash, and take away big stones. They may add compost. Compost is natural fertilizer made from old leaves, fruit peels, and other plant parts. Compost helps plants grow better. Then, they choose what to plant. Some people plant vegetables like tomatoes, carrots, lettuce, or peppers. Others plant herbs like basil, mint, and parsley. Some people grow flowers to make the garden more beautiful and to attract bees and butterflies. Planting is only the beginning. Gardeners must water the plants, remove weeds, and protect them from insects. They visit the garden many times during the week. Over time, they see small green leaves appear. Then the plants grow bigger. Finally, they can pick their vegetables and herbs and take them home. Working in a community garden is not only about plants, it is also about people. People talk to each other while they work. They share gardening tips. They give each other seeds or extra plants. Sometimes they help someone who is busy or sick by watering their plot. Many community gardens also organize events. They might have a harvest party at the end of summer, where everyone brings a dish made from food they grew. They might have a small class where someone teaches how to make simple recipes with garden vegetables. They may even invite a local teacher to show children how insects help plants. Community gardens can change the feeling of a neighborhood. Before the garden, the land may be empty, dirty, or even dangerous. People might throw trash there. Nobody wants to walk past it. It feels sad. After the garden starts, the place becomes alive. There is color and movement. People walk there, talk there, and spend time there. It feels safer and friendlier. Neighbors start to know each other. they do not feel so alone. Now, let's look at some reasons why community gardens are becoming popular in busy cities. Reason 1. Fresh and healthy food. In some areas, it is hard to find fresh fruits and vegetables. There may be many fast food restaurants, but not many markets with fresh food. A community garden can help. People can grow their own vegetables, which are fresh, seasonal, and often cheaper than in shops. Growing your own food can also change how you think about eating. When you work hard to grow tomatoes, you may enjoy them more. You may feel proud of them and use them in simple but healthy meals. Reason 2. Exercise and mental health. Gardening is a form of light exercise. You bend, lift, carry, and walk. It can be a good way to move your body if you sit a lot at work or at school. Gardening also helps your mind. Working with plants can make you feel calm. When you touch the soil and look at green leaves, your brain can relax. Many people say they feel less stressed after an hour in the garden. Reason 3. Social connection. Today, many people feel lonely, even in a big city. They may not know their neighbors. Community gardens create a reason to meet people. You see the same faces again and again. You share stories. You help each other. Over time, strangers can become friends. Reason 4. Learning and education. In a community garden, people of all ages can learn new things. Children learn where carrots really come from. They see how a tiny seed becomes a big plant. Adults learn when to plant, how much to water, and how to protect plants from frost. Sometimes, people also practice language skills in the garden. In international cities, gardeners may speak different languages. They try to explain plant names, recipes, and ideas using simple words, gestures, and smiles. Reason 5. Helping the environment. Community gardens are good for nature in the city. Plants help clean the air. They can lower the temperature around them. This is important in hot summers. Flowers in the garden give food to bees and butterflies. Bees are very important for nature because they help many plants grow fruit. Without bees, many foods would disappear. Many community gardens also use eco-friendly practices. They collect rainwater in big barrels. They make compost from kitchen scraps and garden waste. They avoid chemicals that harm insects and birds. Some community gardens are very creative. Let's listen to a few special examples. In one city, people created a community garden on the roof of a shopping center. They put long wooden boxes with soil on the roof. They grow lettuce, herbs, and small fruits. Shoppers can visit the roof, relax, and learn about plants. In another city, a group of neighbors started a garden next to a busy railway line. At first, the land was full of trash, broken glass, and old metal. The group cleaned it all. They painted a colorful sign with the garden name. Now, when the train passes, passengers see sunflowers, beans, and children playing instead of a gray, dirty space. There is also a city where people made a garden in an old parking lot. They broke the hard ground in some places and brought in new soil. They drew small boxes for different families. The lines of the old parking spaces are still there on the ground, but now they are filled with green instead of cars. Of course, community gardens also have challenges. Sometimes there is a problem with water. The garden may not have easy access to a water tap. Gardeners must bring water from home or collect rainwater. This takes time and energy. Sometimes people disagree about rules. One person may want to use strong chemicals to kill insects. Another person may want only natural methods. The group must talk and find a solution. Sometimes the land is not permanent. The city or the landowner may decide to build something new, like apartments or a shop. The garden has to move. Gardeners then need to find a new place and start again from zero. But even with these problems, many people say that community gardens are worth the effort. The benefits for health, happiness, and connection are very strong. Now, let's think about how a community garden might look in your city or town. Where could it be? Maybe near your school, your apartment building, or your local library. Who would join? Maybe families with children, older people with time and experience, students who want to relax after class, or workers who want a quiet place in the evening. What would people grow? In a cold country, maybe potatoes, cabbage, and carrots. In a warm country, maybe tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. In a very hot place, maybe herbs that like the sun, like rosemary and thyme. Maybe there would be a small corner with a bench where people can sit and read a book. Maybe there would be a rain barrel to collect water from the roof of a nearby building. Maybe there would be a wall with a bright mural, a big painting with flowers and smiling faces. If you're learning English, a community garden could also be a good place to practice. You could talk with other gardeners about the weather and the plants, learn the English names of vegetables and tools, share simple recipes in English. Join a small workshop where someone explains how to grow something. When you talk about real things like the plant in your hand or the tomato in your basket, it can be easier to use a new language. Let's review some useful vocabulary from this episode. Community garden, a shared garden that many people from the same area take care of together. Plot, a small piece of land inside a garden where one person or family grows plants. Compost, natural fertilizer made from old plant parts, like leaves and fruit peels. Harvest, the time when you pick and collect fruits and vegetables. Seed, the small part that you put in the soil to grow a new plant. Now, listen to some questions. You can pause after each question and think about your answer in English. 1. Would you like to join a community garden? Why or why not? 2. What vegetables or herbs would you like to grow? 3. Do you think a community garden could help people in your neighborhood? How? 4. What problems might a community garden face in your city? By thinking about these questions, you practice speaking and thinking in English. Before we finish, let's summarize the main ideas from this episode. A community garden is a shared green space in a city or town. People work together to grow plants. They get fresh food, exercise, and a chance to relax. They meet neighbors and make friends. Community gardens also help the environment and make neighborhoods more beautiful and safe. Even if you do not have a community garden near you, you can still enjoy plants. You can grow herbs on your window, a small tomato plant on your balcony, or flowers in a pot. Watching something grow can bring you joy and peace. Thank you for listening to Kuma English Listening Hub. You listened to a B1 level episode about why community gardens are blooming in busy cities. You practiced listening for general ideas and for details. You also learned some useful words for talking about plants, food, and communities. You can listen to this episode again to catch new words and to improve your understanding. You can also try to explain what a community garden is to a friend, in English or in your own language. See you in the next listening practice. Until then, maybe look around your neighborhood and ask yourself, is there a place where a community garden could grow? Goodbye for now.